All right, welcome into Market Day Report. I am Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. You can follow me on Twitter, or X now, I guess it is. It's at ScottTheCowGuy on X, at ScottTheCowGuy. That's where we post a lot of the videos of my show, where I'm going to be at, what's going on. That's probably the best place. But in order to see what's going on in the markets, you're now tuned in to the best place to find that out, and that's going to be here. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on. We'll start with corn. Let's take a look at that market, and we're about the same place we were the last time we checked. 487 3/4 is last. We're a penny off the high of the day. And we're going to call that about 4 3/4 off the low. We've only had a small range of 5 3/4, but we're 3.5 cents better, and we're a penny off the high. And that should give you an idea about what's been happening. There we're up about 3.5 cents going out in the deferred. So corn, 3.5 cents higher pretty much across the board. Soybeans in Chicago, well, they're up as well. Jan's up 14.5 cents to 13.10. That's about what, 2.5 cents off the high of the day and 18 cents off the low. All right, so that's some pretty good going. March is up 12.5 cents right behind it. 13.28 is last there. Let's talk about Chicago wheat for a second. And we've got a March board that's up 9.5 cents to 6.43, just 3 ticks off the high of the day. And we've had a 22-cent range over there. So if we're 3 ticks off the high of a 22-cent range, that's some pretty good going. 9.5 cents higher. March wheat in Chicago, 6.43 is the price. From Chicago, we move over to Kansas City. And that one's got us up 8.5 cents, and that March contract is 6.64.5. And again, that's 2 ticks, a half cent off of the high of the day. And we almost have almost a 20-cent range. 19 cents basically is the range, and we're right up against the top of that. So that'll tell you that we're doing okay. That's pretty strong. 8.5 cents higher, 6.64.5. Hard red wheat in Kansas City, that's the March contract. Let's go to the spring wheat in Minneapolis. That's up 4 3/4 cents as well. 7.35 1/4 is last there. And that's about a penny and a half off the high of the day and about, we're going to call that 9 1/4 cents off the low. 4 3/4 cents better. March spring wheat in Minneapolis, 7.35 1/4 is last. And we'll see about cotton. It's been limit up, and it still is. 300 points higher there in that March contract. 82.75 is last, and that's limit up. Not bad. Again, 300 points higher, 82.75 March cotton. That's last. Let's bring in our next guest analyst to see what he's got to say about all of this. That's going to be Tommy Grisafi. He's with Advanced Trading in Valparaiso, Indiana. Tommy, thanks for being on. All right, brother. A lot of numbers there. Anything jump out at you?
Just that you're number one. Thank you for the Scott the Cow Guy sweatshirt. I was going to wear it today, but it's so precious. I didn't want to take any chances, but I love it. Big day for wheat. The way we started off lower and we're rallying, that's great. And the markets are doing extremely well. This is a wonderful thing to see. I wasn't aware of the cotton. I apologize to anyone out there in cotton land. It's a big deal. Cotton limit up. We have a USDA report tomorrow. Everything started with some pressure and rebounded nicely. Corn is going nowhere fast. Could have a possible story in beans again, depending on South American weather. And first notice day curse and other things, truly China in for wheat. And we're having the biggest rally, I want to say, since 2016, that we're going 7-8 consecutive days rallying in wheat. We did have some big up days during the Ukraine invasion. We also had down days too. So dynamic markets. You want the really good news? The 10-year notes, 420, 415 operating notes are going to come down 1% before we even go to sign them. So bad news for grandma putting money in the CD. Good news for the American farmer. After the break, we'll get back, talk hogs and cattle, and that won't be such an optimistic discussion. But things in ag land are getting better, my friend.
You're exactly right. That's a huge story. We were up about 5% in that 10-year yield, and now I just checked in real time. It's at 4.11. So that's going to be something that's going to be buoying a lot of things and lifting a lot of things higher, because obviously maybe that's done with the work that everybody wants the Fed to do. We'll see what happens next year. I'm going to talk about that tonight on the Cow Guy Close, because that's a huge story. Because it's hard to trade our products in ag land without keeping an eye on the dollar, and the 10-year yield directly affects what that dollar is doing. And so you got a cheaper 10-year yield, you're going to get a cheaper dollar, and that's going to help you sell some stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's just going to smooth out that cost of production a little bit. It's going to change the carries a little bit, and it's extremes start to hurt people, whether the markets are too high like cattle were or whether they're too low now. extremes on both sides hurt
Right.
people. We just want to get to a nice level, have modest volatility, and let everyone make money. Unfortunately, the world's not working like that right now, Scott.
It's not. If that was the case, we'd probably all be out of a job. All right, stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Tommy Grisafi. He's with Advanced Trading and Valparaiso, Indiana. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about what we've got going on in that livestock sector. We'll start with let's go to live cattle. Boy, I had 2 days off and I'm out of practice. Let's see what these. It's got a whole lot of nothing, folks. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but we've got a mixed board. The front's down 17 cents. That's Feb to 163.37. I suppose if you wanted to make some of this, you could say we're 32 cents away from the low of the day. We're a nickel lower in April, but as you go out the deferreds, we're up 7 cents. And like I said, we're not further than 17 cents either side of unchanged. So it's not a lot going on there. So live cattle just hugging that unchanged line, but Feb's down 7. Now it's down 20 cents to 163.35. There you go. Feeder cattle. Well, that too is not doing very much. We're going to go right to the March and say that's up 50 cents to 212.25. And that's well off the highs of the day by about $2.50. So I guess we're closer to the lows than we are the highs, and that's about 80 cents away. So that'll give you an idea of where we stand in that range. But we're only 50 cents higher, well off the highs. 212.25 is last in March feeders. And then we get to the lean hogs. We'll get back to our guest analyst. Lean hogs are $1.60 lower in Feb, 67.70. And that too is about 22 cents, that's 12 cents off of the high of the day. So, down close to the low, sorry. So we're plumbing the depths there, $1.62 lower, 67.67 now, just a dime off the low of the day. Let's bring back in Tommy Grisafi. You can hand the mic back over to him. I'm mealy-mouthed right now. Tommy, anything jump out of you there?
It's tough to talk about those prices in hogs, cattle, feeder cattle. Margin departments had they've been working those commodities out real good. A lot of phone calls being made, a lot of you got to get outs. And I have a feeling someone who thought they were really smart put on a trade. And when you look at the volatility that's recently, the volatility in feeder cattle and some of the option strikes that have traded and what's happened to those strikes, I feel someone has a really bad position on here, and the market reflects that. Of course, we always make highs on the most bullish fundamentals when you and I are talking or anyone else, and we're like, hey, the fundamentals in cattle are really bullish. That is not good when everyone knows what's out there. Now, the thing we don't know right now is at what point is a bottom formed and how long can everyone hold on? I mean, there's if someone bought cattle a few months ago, they're in a world of hurt already. And how much pain can someone take? I will tell you one story real quick before we go on break. I know we got to get out of here, but I had a friend who raises cattle, saves 30 back for freezer beef. Called me a few months ago, said, I'm having a hard time selling freezer beef. I normally have 25 sold. I only have 10. People used to buy halves, only want a quarter. And I said, you know what? The market did its job. It made people quit buying beef. And that's what happened at the top. It just got too expensive for some folks.
Yeah, there you go. There's a great story. I mean, not great story, but of good evidence of what's been really going on.
It's a true story.
Yeah,
it's a true story.
There you go. All right, Tommy. Thank you very much. Tommy Grisafi. He's Advanced Trading. He's a good friend of MDR and the Cow Guy Close. But it's good to talk to him in Valparaiso, Indiana. Bring it back here to Nashville and give it back to you.